Thank you, Liam. And thank you, listener, for tuning into this episode of The Oracles with James Tyson. This is part 2 of our two-parter on clearing of a spirit from the life and the home of our guest, Aida. She has been seeing ghosts all her life. She just has to focus and they seem to show up. She'll see them inside a building, outside, and she certainly sees them in her sleep. We actually set up a game cam in her room, as she told me that she would sit up at night and talk to them on the foot of her bed. When we did set that camera up, we see her sitting up, but we don't see her talking because we've figured out that she's actually leaving her body just a little bit and communicating with the spirits at about their level. Now, we brought Skeeter in, and Skeeter and I have been doing this for a few years now, and we do it for free. So if you have any concerns about something going bump in the night, or you see something in your room or in the house or in a building you work in, I'll talk to you and interview you, and then we'll bring Skeeter in on the phone, who hasn't heard anything you've had to say, and Skeeter will take a breath and show up at your location. And it's kind of cool because obviously anywhere on the planet, and the way Skeeter's been doing things lately, it probably will maybe send her to the far side of the moon. Now, for those of you who don't know Skeeter, she has been working with the paranormal and psychic field professionally for the past 5 years. That doesn't mean hasn't been doing this her entire life, but for the past 5 years, she's been doing it professionally. Having an eclectic collection of experiences with various paranormal events and phenomena since she was a toddler, she has always felt she was part of that world more than this one. But she has only recently begun sharing her insights in order to assist her clients and others through their own experiences. Skeeter's primary loves include past life work and necromancy, working with the dead utilizing ritual and magic. Although recently, ET experiences and cryptozoology are working hard to catch her attention. And my gosh, that's a whole episode in itself with the stuff that she's been bumping into on the way to conferences and things. Skeeter's also preparing to host Tacoma's first Spirit Pagan-focused paranormal conference in October of 2019. She's doing that in order to create a wider circle for experiencers and believers to gather and share in the fun and educational environment of the paranormal. That's just kind of spooky in itself. But that's who Skeeter is. And when we left our last episode, when we left our hero, when we left episode 1, we were learning a little bit more on why Aida has a connection to the dead. And Skeeter was connecting to spirit guides and using other methods to dig down into what Aida has been experiencing all her life. So when we pick this up, Skeeter is just telling me one of the reasons Aida has been associating with, let's call them gang members for a number of years. And not just little wannabe gang members, some of the most ruthless gang members in Vancouver, British Columbia, and the surrounding area. She has seen death. But why? Was she drawn to them, or were they drawn to her? Let's find out. This is episode 2 of our spirit clearing of Aida.
Her real purpose actually is to heal people on this realm. Not necessarily the dead, but because there's been so much death around her, she's almost like, she feels the only way she can exist is with the dead. So it's like she assigned herself that energy. And she never sees the opportunities to become a nurse or a healer of any kind. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, it does. She's not she doesn't have the focus.
I'm not a doctor, so this is not a legal diagnosis, but it feels like a lot of PTSD energy.
Okay.
Which makes it really hard for her to dedicate because there's a knee-jerk reaction to it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I also know that through the research I've been doing on people who are very, very high vibration or empath, they're basically the only ones who suffer from PTSD.
Yay!
Yeah, lucky, huh? I don't know anyone that I've met who has PTSD, who suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, that is not a higher vibration person. And
well, yeah, because basically you're encrypting the emotional signature of a situation upon your own psyche. So you have to be incredibly high vibration, empathic, in order to pick up and literally grab that signature out of the ether and make it your own and constantly relive and re-encrypt it over and over and over again.
And because we are pleasers, we like to do things that, please in work, will please our bosses. This is what I did. And
well, we want to heal. We want to help. We want to ease other people's pain.
No matter what we see or what we do, it's the PTSD isn't that. It's how we're treated by our management.
Yeah.
It's, I had a really bad experience. I saw this happened. When you suck it up and be a man and forget about it. And all of a sudden you're, what?
But it's that emotional signature. The words are tied to the emotional signature.
Right. Okay, Skeeter. What should we do about Mark?
Mark is going to take a little bit more work. I can try to tap him.
Yeah. Now, when you say tap him, what does that mean?
For me, tapping is I'm going to see if I can strike up a conversation with him, if I can channel him at all. I'll see if any of my guides can reach out to him and tap into his energy for me so I can get a fix on him. The problem is that it's like she's accepted him. It's like I'm not going to say it's like a yay, I take you as mine. It's more like a okay, fine, this is my life, I accept it.
Oh.
It's like I know it's going to sound really weird, but when you're curious about energy, when you open up a door to energy, whether it's intentional or not, well, it's technically intentional, because if you see something and you're not sure what it is, and you keep calling it closer to you because you want to learn what it is, you want to figure it out, you're technically inviting it into you to share space with you so that you can figure it out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
She was curious about what it was that she was experiencing and kept asking to experience it over and over and over again so that she could understand it. But in doing so, she created a bond.
Okay.
So it's like she can summon him when she's vulnerable.
I think she's vulnerable all the time, so that's kind of a irritant.
Yeah, but there's certain types of vulnerability that are more appealing to him, and it's like she likes, I'm not going to say she likes it, but there's something about the curiosity of what it is that creates kind of like a worm in her brain to go, oh, let's look at that a little closer again. It's not like a, yay, I want to do this. It's more like a, you know how you relive a bad memory over and over and over again, trying to better understand it?
Yeah.
You're not doing it because you like the memory. It's more like your brain is trying to wrap itself around it, trying to find another angle to make it better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
That's what she's done with Mark.
Now, let's put Mark on the back burner here and to bring Ida back in. What are we going to do with the little girl and the other man in the gray suit and anybody else who wants to show up and go?
The little girl's going to be a little hard because she's also made an attachment to Aida. She sees Aida as family. She's a shapeshifter. She wants to be seen as something Aida trusts. And she will even take the form, it's almost of a friend.
Okay.
Like, you know how you would call a really close friend a sister or family?
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy I get a feeling that this little girl turns into.
Yeah.
is someone that Ida trusts, that it's not blood, but it's family.
Yeah, it's very right on. It's right on the nose.
So the little girl is actually exploiting that. She is an earthbound, but I don't think she's 100% human.
Oh.
It's almost like she was human at one time, but she's gotten a little twisted. And that's not unusual. So we can handle her, but I have to have Ida want to give up seeing that person.
Okay.
So that once Ida says, no, I know you're not that person, it'll start breaking down those ties, and then they can't fool her anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The old man, he's like, I got my bags packed. If you can get me home,
Sure. Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Let's do that.
Okay, and there might be some more around him. There are definitely some other faces coming out of the woodwork right now.
Yep.
So once I open this door, we might get quite a few that come through. But Ida's got, I mean, this woman's come like a big old giant lighthouse.
Yes.
She's got to learn to tone it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got to talk her into switching down to 50 watt. But we got to get Ida's permission.
And even for the older gentleman?
The older gentleman can go. If you can, do you believe Ida would be willing to let these people go?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
But Ida will be here in a couple of minutes, so she's not listening here right now.
Okay.
She's going to come back all excited and probably want to redo everything, but she just found herself indisposed here at work, so she'll be...
No, that's okay.
And
it's been an interesting night.
I bet it has. How long's your ride home from after work?
I've got a 45-minute drive.
Oh, wow. Say, no falling asleep on the way home.
Nope, I'll let Mason drive.
Oh, my Lord. Now, who's Mason?
Mason is one of my guides. He really has stepped forward and been more dominant. In fact, I'm very close to him. He's very protective of me. He's very defensive of me.
Good.
He does step in when I'm dealing with more aggressive spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So he's very much so a protector. He has helped us out in some interesting situations. And when we were doing Alien Con, we had some GPS issues, and I let him drive. My business partner, Selena, has some definitely interesting stories about all the times that we let him drive.
Now, also at Alien Con, when you told me about the adventures you had going from Washington State to Pasadena, driving, and I told you guys to both separately write them down without feeding each other all the info. Did you guys do that and then compare them to see, like, because this was her first real experience with, like, ETs and whatever else was trying to get into the car while you're doing 60 miles an hour?
Yeah. No, we did. I wrote mine. I think she wrote hers, but we haven't compared notes.
Yeah, that's weird. That was amazing. So.
Oh man, that was a road trip.
Yeah, hurry up and get your book out. So that was. I guess that was a movie in itself. That was like, if it was everything but a clown car chasing you. So.
Oh man, we had a car chase with the ghost car, man.
Yeah.
That was a heck of an experience.
Yeah.
And we had a second really bizarre experience recently on another road trip. So we've just officially assigned Skeeter road trips. We're talking about getting a GoPro to plug in and tag along with us.
Oh, yeah.
So that other people can experience it.
Okay, go to a pawn shop and get yourself 3 or 4 of them. Like
that works.
You can get them for dirt cheap now. They're not don't go out and spend $400 and some, but you can also get yourself a full spectrum lens for one. I have one for mine, and you can
that'd be cool.
and you can have multiple angles and set them up in the car, and yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, because our road trips are just getting more and more entertaining.
Yeah, you need a full-on camera crew with you.
Yeah, we do actually. Especially the last two, they were just wow. We actually had a situation where you could see horses running through the forest next to us, and there were other people in the car who were also seeing the horses running through, and you could catch what looked like elven people riding on them. And at one point, we thought we were coming down the coast, and we thought we saw Mount Rainier on our left, but the truth is we were coming up the coast, which means Mount Rainier was in the ocean. And we're like, that's not right.
Yeah. Did you happen to look at your calendar watch to find out when that date's going to be?
I hope not anytime soon.
Global warming, it's not real anyway.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Mount Rainier was mostly under the water. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But no, that was a really weird road trip because our GPS was just possessed. We have no idea where it took us. We have no idea where we were. All I know is that when we finally got back on the 5, we just stayed there.
Well, weird question for you. When you saw the horses,
yeah,
were you in? Would that have been in Oregon?
No, that was here in Washington State.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is a friend of mine has a meadery, Oren Moore Artisan Mead down, what highway? That would be on the I-5 south of Eugene, outside of a place called Roseburg. And there's an intersection on the road down there. I think it's 138 and I-5, or in that area where kind of there's all these little highways, 99 and 138 all meet. And when you were talking to me about that, I got a flashback that she told me something similar in regards to these horses on the side of the road. You see them in the corner of your eye, and they've caused a lot of fatal accidents.
Yeah.
Where people will go, what the heck is that? And then they lose control, and police get there and go, why? It's a perfectly straight road. There's why would you have flipped a car over?
Yeah, I've heard of that, and that's a different energy than what this was.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Oh, good. So this would just happen to be Riders on the Storm, or you saw a horse race of elves or something.
Yeah, they were actually trying to protect us from what was coming. It was a really interesting road trip.
That is wild. Oh, just got notified that Aida is in the building, climbing up the rope into the tree fort here.
Woohoo!
And she should be here any second now. So we'll give her a bit of an update on what's going on around her, like she doesn't know already. And we'll see how that goes. My gosh. Remember a couple of years ago we were doing this? We were finding guys who died in prison in 1942 and ended up finding out all their background and everything. And it was just amazing. So it's been a while since you and I have actually had somebody take a step to the other side.
Oh yeah, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, and I'm glad her little cohort who's with her isn't an elemental, so that worked out quite well, and that she does have some Palladian protection hanging out with her.
That is cool.
But I guess he can't really step into the spiritual side and do too much. He's just hanging out and not really a watcher. He's just there to make sure that she turns on at the right time in her life.
Cool.
Yeah. So that would be cool. So it's
I
kind
don't understand any of that.
Well, yeah, you don't, not at all, because you're never going to turn on, and you're like, yeah, your light switch is constantly, you have a flickering light switch. It goes, I'm off, okay, dead alive, dead alive, dead alive. Oh, Lord. I was talking to Marianne Morgan, who's died, I think, 9 times, about you, and she goes, oh, yeah, she's good. She keeps switching off, coming back, switching off, coming back. Things are getting more powerful. Are you taking on people to train at this point? Or is
Yes,
it too busy? Oh.
I actually have 2 apprentices now, which is really new for me, and the business is turning more and more into people finding me and actually asking me to start training them and teaching them. So I'm actually finding the business itself is taking its own turn. It's becoming its own entity. Oh, she must have made it into the tree fort.
Yeah, she's made it into the tree fort. She can't. You're not going to be able to hear her. She's going to have to come around to the other microphone, so we're going to be sharing a mic, if she can make it out alive, up the tree from here. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of ghosts around her or something, who knows?
Yeah.
One of them.
Okay, she's hooked up, and I'm going to give Ida, this is Skeeter, say hi.
Hi, Skeeter.
Hi.
And you can hear her okay?
Hi, can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. She's, Ida will speak up a little bit, and we'll go. So, Ida.
Yes.
While you were at work, what happened? There's a gentleman who goes by the name Ezekiel who looks after you. He's Pleiadian.
Okay.
That's an alien.
Oh, can I say what happened just right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm out of breath because I tried to make it upstairs so quick. Just when I was downstairs, I felt someone tell me that they were talking to you right now. And then I came upstairs, and I swear to God, I thought I heard you talking to the same spirit that was just talking to me.
What?
Yes. I'm not sure. But, I heard it in my ear. I heard it in my head the way I always hear it.
That I was talking to, or Skeeter?
That you were talking to the person. You.
About how long ago was that?
This was maybe 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, I was.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that fellow, Ezekiel, has been with you before you were born.
Really?
And he's a Pleiadian High Council. He's an alien.
Okay.
And the reason he's with you is because you are too.
Yes, I know. Last night I ascended. He took me so high up in the sky, and my tummy was falling. Actually, it was this morning around 7 a.m. And he does this with me all the time. He will take me to these different places that are so beautiful, and we just fly together. It's crazy, and I can feel myself coming out of my body. It's this extreme energy force, and I'm just getting sucked out. And then we go.
He doesn't have green tights and have a knife and have a little fairy with him. No, it's
No.
Peter Pan. So that's the one we were talking to, and you'll be able to listen to it when we play this back. But what we have from him is that there's a number of bits of energy around you, but you attract lost souls. But you and I have already talked about that.
Yes, I know I do.
You're crazy when it comes to that. You have a little girl that's around you. Her name is Susan.
Is that her name?
Yes.
gosh.
She will show up as she wants to be accepted. She'll show up as an aunt or a kind of a sistery kind of vibe.
That's the girl that's been following me forever, that pretends to be my sister every night. And we talk forever, and she tricks me and makes me believe that she's my sister. And then I realize, oh wait, my sister didn't sleep over tonight. And I realize it's her, but she's been with me forever now.
Yeah. and I'll let Skeeter get a little bit more into how they've connected themselves to you and how you've connected they've connected themselves to you, and whatever it is I just said. But there's an older gentleman with the gray suit, black pants, mustache. He's hanging with you. And then there is this other fellow who's a bit stinky. Do you have a fellow that hangs out with you that smells?
I've noticed different smells before when I can tell it's a spirit. I can tell it's something else. But not too much, not lately. But I do remember at my place.
Okay, the fellow that we are concerned with is the fellow you were concerned with. There is this guy who wears a t-shirt. He is his name is Mark.
I knew his name was Mark. I cannot believe you just said that.
He's the one that hops into bed with you.
Yes, that hops into bed with me and tries to have sex with me and tries to do crazy things to me. He was with me this morning. He does this with me all the time, and I'll just wake up and I'll see his arms around me. I'll wake up with his arm around me, and I always freak out. My first initial reaction is to freak out every single time, and he makes fun of me for it. And when we're actually speaking, times where I'm not freaking out and I'm actually speaking to him, he'll make fun of me, but he's always being so inappropriate. He's always touching me, and I wake up to him just kind of taking over my body, and it's really not
disconcerting.
Fair. Yeah, it's not fair.
Now, Skeeter had a good point that before she can kind of prepare to move them across, which then they're all waiting for you to do it. You're just not ready yet.
2 nights ago, he told me a spirit came to me and said that was you can cross me over. This was the night after you said that to me.
Yeah.
James, that was the night after you said that to me. And I remember telling the spirit, okay, well, look towards the light behind me, exactly like you said. And I swear to God, I crossed the spirit over. I did it that night. And I felt it. The person came to me, told me this, and I think we did it. I don't know 100% if I did it right, but I did do it.
You can talk to Skeeter about that. Skeeter?
No, it was a trick.
Oh, is it?
What it is that they got you to open yourself up, and they got to feed on your energy.
Yeah, they do that every night.
Yeah, it's
every night of my life.
Yeah, because you don't have any walls.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't know how to block them. All I do is pray every time, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's exhausting. I barely sleep. It's really, really annoying.
Skeeter, I'm going to let you take over with Ida on the crossing over part with Mark, because obviously she doesn't want him around. I'm here for backup. Sorry, I turned my head away from the microphone. I'm here for backup if need be.
Okay.
Hi, Skeeter.
Hi.
Hi.
So there are a lot of spirits around you.
Mm-hmm.
There are a mix of energies around you. We can do a large sweep and clear out a large number of them.
Okay.
The problem is that you are a giant light bulb. You are a giant lighthouse.
Yeah, ever since I was a kid.
And we've got to teach you to tone it down to about 50 watts. I can cross a large number of them. The problem is that with Mark and a little bit with the little girl.
Yeah, the little girl
is that
just, I just feel like she really wants to be like a part of me and my sister. Like she wants to be the third sister.
Yeah, she does. She really wants to be family.
Mm-hmm.
She's known you since you were a little girl.
Yeah.
In fact, the best I can see from what she's showing me is that when you guys first met, you thought she was a real little girl.
Wow.
Because of what your gifts are.
Yeah. Every time I do see her, I really do believe I'm speaking to a real person. And she tricks me very well. She's really good at it. She does it all the time, and I fall for it every time.
Yeah, no, she's very talented.
Yeah, she's a talented girl.
So her and Mark, they're going to be a little bit harder to cross because both of them
want to stay with
have gotten you to emotionally invest in them. So there's like a bond there. It's like I was trying to explain to James, it's not that you willingly or purposely welcome them in, but your curiosity, your naivety about the situation and innocence about the situation opened you up to their influence.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm the nicest to these two people.
I'm going to jump in real quick here, Skeeter, and bring up something that you had mentioned in regards to Mark. Ida, do you ever remember being around a friend of yours that was shot?
Yes.
Mark showed up. That shooting actually drew that energy of the shooting drew him to you.
Oh my God.
Oh, her arms are just.
I knew it. I knew that.
So that's when he jumped you.
Oh my gosh.
Because he saw that you were caring for the person who was shot, and you were.
I knew it. Oh my God, I'm about to freak out right now. I can't even believe you just said that. Oh. I knew it from the second I met him. I knew he had something to do with JK. I knew it.
Yeah. But he showed up because that shooting energy brought him there, and then he saw you and went.
How devastated I was over that.
And caring.
How
and
much
that's
I
what
cared.
he stepped in. Yeah, so Ida had a moment there. So it was kind of interesting.
I'll let her finish.
Yeah, just kind of take a deep breath and relax. But that's how Mark showed him.
That makes 100% sense. I knew that inside me. I knew that in my soul. I've always known that. And it's crazy to just hear that right now. Like I could cry, but that's crazy. Wow. Yeah. Go on.
So Skeeter, where do we go from here?
So from here, I can cross the ones who are not emotionally tied to you.
Okay.
The little girl is going to be a little bit harder, and so is Mark. The little girl is going to be the hardest because she does have that, I'm going to use the word false family tie to you. If you think of your sister, the female that she represents, and you think of her energy, you could invite her back to you. It's also the same with Mark. If you think of the man that he represents, you'll be inviting him back to you.
Even if they're crossed over?
These two aren't necessarily
human.
There's something a little bit off about them to where even if we cross them, I don't think Mark's going to cross. He'd be one that you'd have to force to cross, and that's really hard to do. You can banish him, you can send him away.
I've said that to him before, and you laughed at me.
But the minute you think about him, it's like unintentionally opening the door. You would have to be willing to let go of the memory he's tied to.
So that's so hard. I just feel like in a weird way, I'm even attached to them. Like I would miss them.
Mark too.
And that's the problem.
Maybe not Mark, but like I've had some like really like laughy times with Mark, like where we like.
But the girl, you would definitely.
The girl, I would miss 100%.
Yeah, so we don't have to.
I don't mind
you don't mind her
at all.
And now that you know who she is, she doesn't have to show up like your sister. She can just show up as.
And I've asked her to show me who she really is, and she told me that if she shows me who she really is, that I won't want to talk to her anymore.
So just so you know, she's not 100% human anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, either is Ida.
I don't think so. I've always known I wasn't. Can I ask?
So these two are interesting energies. I can sweep out and clean everybody else out, but again, you're a lighthouse. So learning how to set boundaries, how to set down rules about who's welcome into your home, what's welcome into your home, what's allowed to utilize your energy. I've got a buddy, Mason, who helps me out with a lot, and I have another friend. I'm asking them if you're a crossroads worker. A crossroads worker is someone who helps usher the dead from one location to another, or even helps the living get from one point to another on their life path. You're more of a healer. Technically, you should be in the medical field, but because of your own stuff, you've kind of shied away from it.
Yeah, my name is To Help. That's my name in Hebrew.
So you are a healer. So these people are being drawn to you because they're looking for healing.
My whole life is I heal people. I bring people that like my ex-boyfriends and just crazy things like that. Like, it's always the most broken people that just fall in love with me so deeply and can't let go of me.
But that's because you're like a life preserver in the middle of a storm. The thing is and this is a very hard thing for healers to learn, is sometimes you're not that person's healer.
I felt that before, where I'm like, I can't teach you this lesson.
Also, some people don't necessarily want to be healed. They just want to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And for you, because you never had anybody do for you what you want to do for them, you invest 100%, living and dead.
I guess so.
And you do it openly.
I do.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, as with what I do, but there's going, that's what I am, to, I like sanity.
Yeah, I know.
I like sleep. I like having my own energy.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of, if you don't want these waves to keep hitting you, it's going to take learning not to accept everybody who comes to your door.
Could I ask you a question? How can I, like, last night, like, there's, I woke up to some guy, hitting my hip, like, jolting me out of sleep around, 6 a.m. this morning. And, I don't like it when they put their hands on me, and I find it just, so not fair that they can just do that. How do I block them? What should I say? How do I block these energies from really getting personal with me?
The thing is that if you have that door open for any spirit's going to come in. Mm-hmm. And some are better at focusing their energy than others.
Yeah.
I will let you know from my own experience, I have rules. Between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. I'm off. I'm off duty. Leave me alone.
How do you turn off?
I don't turn off. I just make it very clear I'm not on duty. I almost imagine, I get out of the lifeguard stand, or you're leaving the office, so you turn off the lights and you flip the clothes sign.
My grandmother was the one who told me that I can that I'm going to be able to see, she's the one who knew that I could do what I do, that I can see them and hear them. My grandmother always told me to just think of it as a circle of doors that are open with light coming through it, and to just shut each door until you see darkness. And every time I have done that, it's worked, but I just forget to do it when I'm in the moment.
But that's discipline.
I get so scared.
Well, the thing is, though, is that there's being scared. And even me, I still get scared now and again.
Yeah, I know. It's a natural reaction, I think.
But there's also the discipline of going, no, I control this.
Yeah.
Especially since you're traveling in the astral field.
Yeah, I travel
being consciously aware and owning yourself is going to be incredibly valuable.
Is it weird that sometimes I want to stay there?
No.
Sometimes I really like where I go with, what's his name? I really, really enjoy it. I wish I could stay in that world.
But the thing is, though, is that you have to be in a living body.
I know, that sucks.
So it's really fun to be in the astral world,
It is.
if you know the rules. Otherwise, you leave yourself even more open and more vulnerable to things following you and finding you.
Yeah.
Hey, Skeeter, let's do the mass migration, and then
First, I just want to ask one more question. I just want to ask my spirit guides, like, who should I be talking to?
Your grandmother for sure. Archangel, is it Uriel? Uriel. Yes.
Who's Mason?
There's actually a really big, dark-skinned man behind you.
Oh my God!
Who
Did you just say that? He showed me himself this morning. A black guy. He's black. He's like really dark, like black. He just showed me. He put his picture inside my head this morning. This morning or yesterday morning. I was wondering if you were going to bring up the black guy. I was just waiting in my head, thinking like, is she going to say anything about the black guy? That is crazy.
But he's someone that you know from life.
who's passed?
That's
or
JK.
Yeah, he's passed.
Oh my God, JK. Crazy.
And he says, I had to come back and take care of you.
Oh my God.
Because he says you're still too, I apologize, but he says you're still too stupid to know when someone's taken advantage of you.
He would say that.
do you know who he is?
Yes, of course. That's the guy that got shot. That's him. He's the black guy.
Oh, that's the guy
That's
that
JK.
when
That Mark came through with.
that Mark
Yeah.
jumped you. Oh.
Yeah, he's not fond of Mark. He's hoping I can do something about Mark.
That would be good because I know JK wouldn't like that this guy is doing that to me.
But the thing is, though, is that you have to stop inviting everything in.
How do I do that?
The time to close the doors like your grandma taught you to.
Yeah.
And that means doing it in the morning, doing it at lunchtime, and doing it at night.
Okay.
And it's owning those doors. One of the things that this gentleman, this big dark-skinned gentleman is saying is that you've never learned to stand up for yourself. You've always relied on other people
That's
to
true.
step in and stand up for you.
Always rely on other people to do my all my business. That's true.
And he says you're so scared of being wrong or doing it wrong that you don't discipline yourself to do it. You just assume you're going to do it wrong and tap out.
That's true.
So he says if you could find the courage you had when you were 4 to tell people to bug off,
Yeah.
you
Was a fight
could
for
handle it. But somewhere around 5-ish, you lost it. It was beaten out of you.
That's true.
And he says if we could reignite that little girl and bring her up into the woman that you are now, you could hold your own finally, but you have to let go of all of us ghosts. And finally be you. But you don't, he says the only way you find definition is in being a helper. But you're not a helper. You're a healer. And healers are selective. They only help those who genuinely want help.
Yeah.
You're not collecting strays
I'm making a really
and birds
big,
at the park.
I'm making like a really big life change, like in the next very near future. I was just wondering if you pick up anything on that. Like I'm making like a big decision about.
He says if
my
you can
life.
stick to it, it'll work. But we both know your hardest part is sticking to it.
Oh my God! Did you just say that?
Yeah, and that's kind of what she needs to hear. She knows that the sticking to it
That's what
part
I
of
told
it.
you yesterday.
Yeah.
What did I say to you yesterday?
Yeah.
I said I'm not scared about doing it. I'm scared about sticking to it.
Yeah. So that confirms that that's good information for her to go forward with in the next 24 hours here, where she has to go on that journey. But yeah, it means a lot, and it's something you can always lean back on too and go, oh,
100%.
I know who is with me and is supporting me on the other side. You got some support there.
That feels so good. That feels amazing.
Cool, huh?
That's so cool. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, oh my God. That guy, what's his name?
Your guy?
My alien?
He told me to call him Ezekiel.
Yeah, that's the guy that told me he was talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guy that I travel with.
Yeah, he basically Skeeter channeled him.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know.
That's trippy that's insane.
Okay, Skeeter, my 1 hour and 20-minute show is now into day 2. So what I'll end up doing is I'll probably break it down into a couple of episodes and we'll see how it goes. But it's all up to the editing.
Yeah.
And if we could do the mass migration. Now, Skeeter did this. We did it a couple of years ago. It was a young fella in Ontario, Canada, who lived across the river from Detroit and of like battlefields going back to the American Revolution and the War of 1812 and the Indians and it was back and forth. Anyway, he had everybody showing up in his house. Everybody. That was the one you walked into and you said it was like a lineup people trying to get off the Titanic, going all the way back to people with firing cannons at the other end of the house and looking at you like, sorry, we can't hear you. What? The stuff is going on. And this kid, there was stuff. He was so connected. His dad's bed would start shaking all night.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. I've
and it was the kid who was doing it.
It was a kid that was doing mine, too.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was a little kid. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Skeeter she has a good way of crossing them over. And of course, every time she does this, we get half a dozen from the neighborhood show up.
Crazy.
So
I'm blown away. Thank you so much, Skeeter. This means the world to me. Like, literally means the world.
I don't know how to explain this, but we've got some interference on my side.
Oh, really?
Is Mark a boob guy?
Yes! He grabs my boobs every night of my life. That's all he does. Is all I feel is hands on my boobs all the time.
Yeah.
Hands on my boobs all the time.
He's a major perv.
Big time.
I'm going to ask my guide Fenrir to step in right now because the jerk showed up over here.
Yeah, he's a jerk. He really is.
Yeah, well,
tricks me and he pretends to be nice sometimes, but he's a jerk. Like sometimes it's nice to feel the comfort of a guy around me. It's a little bit weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's at the end of the day,
I get it.
He's a big
he showed
jerk.
up when you were in a lot of pain, and that's what you're clinging to is the fact that he was a comfort when you were in pain.
Yeah. Yeah, but everything he does is really gross. He is the things he says to me is gross. He's always grabbing on me, and I don't want to be too explicit, but he does. Mm-hmm. He just kind of does gross things.
No, he showed me.
It's not
just
fair.
Now. I'm going to contain him for just a bit.
I would appreciate that so much.
I'm going to ask my guide Fenrir just to step between me and you and it, so Mark could stand aside. He is not going to go gently into the night. You have formed way too close of an emotional bond with him, so it's going to be you.
He's traveled with me through 3 different homes.
Yeah, and he's going to keep following you until you finally. You're going to have to break up with him.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to not ever call him back to you. But the minute you think about him or whatever, he's going to come right back.
Okay. Well, so the next time I see him, tomorrow morning or something, or tomorrow night, I should just be you need to go, do not come back.
Well, we have him present right now.
Okay. Well, you need to go, Mark. I can't have you touching me like that. It makes me feel terrible.
He says you like it?
No,
and
I don't.
You love me too much.
No, I don't. No.
I'm going to be toning down what he says. I'm going to be putting a sense on him.
He talks like that, right? Isn't that gross the way he talks? He's very, very explicit the way he speaks. It's really gross. and I have to hear it in my ear. Like,
I want you to, if there's like a rubber band or something that you can wrap around your finger in there.
Okay, let me see.
Yep.
Put it around your ring finger.
Which hand?
Left hand. Like
Thank you.
married.
Okay.
Yeah.
That finger represents the marriage you accepted with Mark.
That's a little freaky.
Well, don't put it on too tight.
So I want you to look at that ring, this makeshift ring. Imagine it as everything that a wedding band stands for between a husband and wife.
Okay, I can do that. I'm doing it right now.
Now, I want you to go ahead and think of the things that you would think of him lovingly. Say them out loud.
He can be sweet. He can sometimes, like, he'll just kind of cuddle me. It's so crazy saying this, but and he sometimes makes me laugh. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, those are the good feelings that I've ever had.
Okay. Now, without being explicit, now list off the things that he does that make you not want that ring.
I hate when he jumps inside my body and makes me do things, but it's not me doing it, it's him. I hate that. I hate it a lot. I hate when he says gross stuff in my ear. I just really hate when he controls my body. I've never given you I've never said yes to you that you can go in my body. I've never, you just do it. You just think that I'm gonna like it, and you just go for it, but I hate it. And I don't like you touching me. I don't like feeling your hands on me. I just can't stand it anymore. And yeah, I just don't like it. It makes me feel really bad.
So, do the good things that he does for you outweigh the bad things?
No.
Is that ring worth what it's provided you?
Absolutely not. Sorry, Mark. Absolutely not.
So, it is your choice. You can keep the ring that binds you to him, or you can throw it away.
Okay, well, I'm definitely not keeping it.
Okay, so take the ring off your hand, put it in the center of your palm. I've got them contained out here on the astral field. Mason and Fenrir are containing him for me.
Okay, it's in the center of her palm, left hand palm.
Yep.
Okay, it's there.
So, just picture yourself in a field with me.
Okay, I am.
I normally am traveling as a white crow or a black raven.
Okay. I see a black raven.
And that's what I'm as.
Okay.
You'll probably see me perched not too far from where we're containing Mark. Don't go any closer to him than you absolutely need to in order to see me.
I see you. Okay.
Now repeat after me. Hold out the ring. Hold out your hand.
Okay.
I reclaim my soul from you.
My soul from you.
And I return to you.
And I return to you.
In exchange. Whatever energy I may have of yours.
Whatever energy I may have of yours. What was that?
Give me my energy back. Give me my soul back now.
Give me my soul back now.
Count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Put the ring in your right hand.
Okay.
No, we're playing, dude. Back off. Let me know when the ring is in the right hand.
It's in my right hand.
Hold out your right hand just as before and repeat after me. I demand my soul back from you.
I demand my soul back from you.
I return any and all energy that is not mine to you.
I return any and all energy that is not mine to you.
But I demand my soul back now.
But I demand my soul back now.
Count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
Slam that ring down on the table.
Done.
Done.
Okay, we're going to need just a little bit more oomph to make this guy backs off because he's pushing hard. I demand your true name. Look at Mark and tell him I demand your true name.
I demand your true name.
What did he tell you?
I'm hearing like an Evan.
Not it. I demand.
I demand.
In the name of all that is good.
In the name of all that is good.
Your true name.
Your true name.
Okay.
With a C.
Not it.
Weird.
I, Skeeter, on behalf of Ida, demand your true name. Reveal it to Ida or else. What are you hearing?
Oh, she got sidetracked. Stand by.
James, grab the wrist along the outside of the, so basically go down the pinky to where the wrist bone is, hold just below the wrist bone. Both sides, cross your arms, and your left should be on her right, and your right should be on her left.
So I am pinching.
You're jumper cabling her.
Okay, my right's on her. Okay, left to right, right to left. Sorry.
Right.
Correct.
Correct.
Now,
Mason, please stand beside Ida. Fenrir, please stand beside Ida. I can hold my own. Please stand by either side of her. I demand that you tell Ida your true name. Ida, can you hear it?
I really want to say Cypher. I keep seeing a C.
Okay. Cypher?
Cypher, C-Y.
Okay. Mason, is this his true name, yes or no? Yes, it is his true name.
That's crazy.
Cypher, you are to leave now and never return. I ascend you onto your higher path.
Please leave.
No, it's not a please leave. It's a leave now.
Leave now. Go. Cypher, leave. Leave me alone.
Okay. Can anyone help me get Cypher to leave? Okay, so I'm going to channel It's going to sound a little weird. I apologize. The goal is not to scare you. It's just to make him leave. Okay? Cypher. Time for you to leave Ida alone. It is time for you to move on to your next highest calling, your next highest energy. I break all bonds, all ties, past, present, future, known and unknown, spoken and unspoken, willingly and unwillingly, by Ida. There is no bond between you. There is no debt. There is no tie. There is no relationship. She has made no deals, knowingly, unknowingly, willingly, unwillingly, past, present, or future. All are null and void, done, over. And you are to move on, to ascend. Archangel Michael, please stand beside me, stand behind me and guide me and protect me. Archangel Metatron, please stand beside me, guide me, protect me. All my guides, all my spirits, all my teachers, past, present, future, known and unknown, whose names I speak and are not allowed to speak, please stand before me. Please surround Ida. Please protect her. Please help sever these ties and free her mind from him. Please allow the tie that is between them to heal and free her. Archangel Michael, please sever the tie. Use your sword to cut him, to cut her free from him. Please seal Ida. Please put a circle of love and light and gold. Please surround her in the Creator's light. Great Spirit, please embrace her, heal her soul, and complete her. Please let her know that the man who died in her arms that day is not the man who Mark was. Please let her see the man who was within the body of that died. Let her see the man beside her now, who he was as her now ascended master, her now ascended angel, a guardian, not the beast that has been banished. Ida, who do you see before you?
I see.
Should it be a CJ or a JC?
Maybe like a CJ, before you set that out.
But before you send one of your guides, one of your angels now, he was the man who died in your arms that day, not Mark.
Is it JK?
JK? I don't think it would be JK.
It is JK.
Oh, it is? Okay.
You have to see JK.
Okay. I see JK.
She says she sees JK.
Okay. Hold out your hands to JK.
Okay.
When JK grabs your hands, let me know.
I can feel him.
She said she can feel him.
Okay, that is the only energy that you are allowed to associate with that situation. Describe it to me right now.
I can just see him smiling.
She says that she sees him smiling.
Perfect.
She's very
she's very what?
Overwhelmed right now. She's almost in tears.
He's gonna wrap her in a bright purple blanket.
I can't believe you just said purple. All I'm seeing is purple.
I don't know if you can hear
And
her, but she's
Yeah,
saying
I
that all
could
she can
just
see
hear
is
her.
purple.
That purple is to heal your soul. It's to heal your third eye so that you see only those now who are truly of those that you love. No more hitchhikers.
Okay.
And that purple light is going to take on a gold. Let me know when the gold hits.
It's hitting right now.
So give him a big hug
I love you, JK.
and ask him to step into the place that Mark once held.
Please stay with me.
And I heard him say yes.
I did too.
So he will be there beside you now.
That feels really good.
Mark, Mason, has Mark moved on? We've got him, he says. So Mason will be, and Fenrir will be taking care of Mark. Your ties to Mark are severed.
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really
Mason says you're welcome. Fenrir does too.
That was really intense. Oh my god.
Wow, Skeeter, that took a while. You may as well just stay at the office.
Yep.
Oh no, look at it's going to be one heck of a drive.
Well, that's why I let Mason drive.
Lord, let's not do that again.
So did you say that one of my my spirit guides is Uriel?
Yeah.
Your archangel.
Oh, that's my archangel. So like when I do want to speak to someone and I do want to ask for guidance,
Uriel is a good one.
yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you so much. Wow. I'm blown away.
Again, this has been Aida, who has had some issues with ghosts, and now you can understand why. And Skeeter Wellhouse. If you want to get a hold of Skeeter, go to her website. It's bluemoonweaver.com. Again, all one word, bluemoonweaver.com. Shamanic hypnotherapy, caring for the soul, mind, and body. If you're down in Tacoma, give her a shout. She's got her shingle hung up, and you'll be able to get that phone number, book an appointment on her website, Blue Moon Weaver. Skeeter,
Yes.
take a couple of deep breaths, drink some water, and slowly make your way home.
I will.
Okay. Love you. Thank you very
Aida?
much.
Yes.
Lots of water, babe.
Oh yeah, I am so dehydrated right now. I can't even speak. I can't even open my mouth.
Okay. Thank you very much. And if there's, I'm thinking that any tag-alongs right now are going to probably just be standing outside the bedroom, not worrying about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And thanks again to Aida for actually sharing her life and a bit of a trauma that she's been going through ever since she was a kid with this high vibration that she has. But now we know why. You alien, you. And she's off on a new path. She's at a crossroads in her life, and it sounds like it's all going to work out really well. Yeah. So it's going to be good. Thanks again, Skeeter.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks, everybody. It has been a week since we did that interview with Skeeter and Aida, and I brought Aida back in to give you an update. And also, after this little talk with Aida, we're going to play a couple of EVPs we caught when I replayed this and was listening to it over again, and they're quite interesting. Skeeter demands what this guy's name is, and he tries to fool her by giving a fake name. And then after that, when Skeeter checks with her spirit guide to see if the name that Aida finally got and Skeeter finally got, we hear the spirit guide answer. So it was kind of cool. Hey, Aida, how you been?
I'm good.
Good. And tell us what happened in the days following this interview.
Well, I mean, that whole thing with Skeeter was really intense. The next night, actually that night that I went to bed, I did see him again. This time he wasn't all over me. He was just more showing me that he was still there. Like, just kind of trying to show me that, like, hey, I'm still here. You guys didn't do anything. And, but that was the last time I saw him. And I remember just looking at him and I was like, you have to leave. You have to go. You cannot stay here. And that was it. And I have not seen him since, which is crazy. Like, I can't even believe it. I've seen this spirit so much in the past, like, months. And yeah, I have not seen him anymore.
Do you see JK at all?
I always have dreams of him. Really vivid dreams, and he's always so happy, and he has that big smile on his face, and I do see him in my dreams. I feel him around me, but I haven't seen him the way I see the other spirits.
Okay. I think because he's crossed over and the other spirits
I
haven't.
believe that's why as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's more of in the background and they're the ones hanging out. Have you got any new ghosts?
You know, it's kind of funny, but I think there's this younger guy since I've been at this new place that is very respectful of my space, knows that he cannot come into my room at night, but stands at the door almost every single night. And the other day I was trying to communicate with him and I was like, oh, it's you again. And he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm here a lot. He's like, I stand here. He's like, I watch you every night.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Yeah, I know, right? But as
remember,
crazy as it is, like, I'm used to it. But I just thanked him for not,
not being creepy.
Yeah, not being creepy and like not touching me and not coming into the room. And I told him that I don't mind where he stands.
Yeah, as long as he's not close. But remember what Skeeter was saying, when you're seeing them and you're kind of wanting to see a little clearer, you kind of invite them in, you invite them closer and closer. Yeah, just keep that whole thing out there.
I have definitely been practicing that.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, too, is since then, I was talking to a very famous psychic, Marianne Morgan, who is in the United States and did work with celebrities down in Hollywood, as well as the type. She was one of the psychics on the TV series Psychic Detective, and she was hired by Natalie Holloway's family, went to go work on that missing persons file, and numbers of others. And I happened to be talking to her one day, and I passed the phone over to Ida because Ida dropped by. Marianne gave you something, didn't she?
Yes. She had me write down a script, basically, that I've been reading every night before I go to bed, and it has really worked. I'm so surprised. Like, there's not one night I go to bed without reading it. I read it every night, and it works really, really well. So I'm really happy I have that. And also, I've just been trying to just shut things down a little, like with a little more force than I would before, because clearly I need to, or I have extremely sleepless nights.
Yes, you certainly do. Well, thank you very much for dropping in and giving us an update. And now we're going to play our little bit of EVPs we caught.
Yes, let's do that. Those are wild.
Do that. Thank you very much, Ida, for dropping in. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hope you enjoyed this episode, the episode 2, Ida and the Spirit Cleaners. It sounds like a Hardy Boys, or I don't know what was the girls' version of the Hardy Boys? There was Nancy Drew. Yes, it was another episode on the Nancy Drew Hardy Boys clearing ghosts. And again, if you have know anybody who's got a spirit hanging around and may want to get rid of them, it usually doesn't take as long as it did this time. Usually Skeeter and I can deal with it in about an hour to an hour and a half. And Bob's your uncle, which is an expression that some people know. Hopefully you do too. But we'll get them out for you. and hopefully it won't take this long, but that's what we do, and we do it for free. So if you have anything like that, just write me at info@theoracleswithjamestyson.com. info@theoracleswithjamestyson.com, or go to the website, theoracleswithjamestyson.com, and go to the communication part to send me a letter and email through there. Again, I want to thank everybody for dropping by, and it was, I think, a pretty successful event. We got a lot of people crossed over. We did, just so you know, we did come back, and Skeeter did bounce quite a few people over, but we just kind of cut that out because it's pretty boring. She actually they all walked towards her and they disappear. Nobody really, it was no real great news, but everybody who showed up to cross over did successfully be crossed over. We just focused on the Yahoo that was hanging around a bit more, because that was different. That was a different energy, and it was a little bit interesting pumping them over. And now we're going to play that EVP that we captured when Skeeter asked or demanded the name of the idiot spirit that was hanging around with Aida, a name that I shall not repeat. So listen to this.
I demand that you tell Aida your true name.
Again, listen to what he says.
Aida, can you hear it?
I really want to say cipher. I keep seeing a C.
Okay. Cipher?
Cipher, C-Y.
Okay. Mason, is this his true name, yes or no? Yes, it is his true name.
That's crazy.
Again, let's replay the answer when she says, Mason, is this his true name? Yes or no? There it is, listener, and that was kind of fun. That was a lot different than most spirit cleanings usually go. That took a little while. Never had Skeeter having to lock them up for a bit and then sever the ties the way she did in Aida's case. Again, if you know anybody who's got ghost challenges or thinks they have one moving around the house, just write us info@theoracleswithjamestyson.com, or go to the website, theoracleswithjamestyson.com, and click on the email link and let me know, and you can bounce onto an episode here too. We'll have Skeeter drop by remotely and check the house out. It's kind of creepy, I know, but that's what she does. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and if you like the episode, please click on the Patreon link on our website, and if you want to throw a donation of $3 a month in, you will qualify for that psychic reading once a month, along with the past life regression, the numerology reading, and we hit those magic numbers when we get a bit higher volume. We're going to be giving away trips. Yes, ask us about the prizes. I want to thank again Skeeter Wellhouse, Blue Moon Weaver, and Aida for letting us kind of infiltrate her spirit side and her ghostly haunts. Now I'm going to be tossing the show over to Alice Cooper and wait for those Mounties on horseback. Have a good day, everyone.
Let's roll. And hey! Let's be careful out there.
Far over the snow